This segment is brought to you by Carmen Leonardo's Meat Market, 2 locations in Lakewood. That's the original store at Florida and Wadsworth, and in Aurora at Smoky Hill and Chambers. You are going to love Carmen Leonardo's Meat. Get there for all of your grilling needs. All right. You know about Walt Weiss. He is the new manager for your Colorado Rockies, and today it was announced that they're bringing back another member of one of the original Colorado Rockies.
Remember that home run? It was on my birthday when they opened Coors Field.
I was there.
Dante hits epic.
Rain.
The fist pump.
Extra innings. Snow. It was snow.
Yeah, it was
snow.
Absolutely.
Snowed the day before, and it was just nasty weather, but they played, and it was an epic scene. Dante Bichette, named the hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies, joins us tonight. Dante, how are you?
Very good. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. Hey, real quick question. Do you have a storage shed of some type that has some old Bichette Happens T-shirts?
Yeah, you know what? I think I have a few left. I don't think I used those up. Yeah.
Can we?
Want me to send you one?
Yeah. How do you have a husky size, like a triple X?
Probably.
We'll need to reprint some of those. Those were some good things. Hey, how did this come about? How did you become the Rockies hitting instructor? Take us through the process.
Well, I guess at the end of the season, I actually was talking to, Guy Vetti. I went to Atlanta, watched the team play, and he said, when you getting back in the game? I said, probably not for a couple of years yet. I got a little 14-year-old. He says, well, let me know when you want to get back in the game. And then, I guess 2 weeks ago, he called and he said, are you ready? And I said, what are you thinking? And, he called and talked about it. And then Walt Weiss called, and, at first I was no. And I'm like, man, it was, it's tough, but it's a dream job for me because it's a passion of mine. It's in the, my favorite city and favorite fans. And, it's just, it wasn't too hard to say yes.
Well, nobody knows how to hit at Coors Field better than you do. Obviously, coming into this situation that it's been tough for the Rockies the past couple of seasons. If you look at their bats last year, I mean, pretty good. The issues were more with pitching. But as you look at this team going forward, because this happened even when you played, Dante, the sort of home road splits with regard to hitting. I mean, what sort of psychological expertise might you bring to that now as the hitting coach? What would you tell the guys about that?
I understand that home road thing more than anybody. It cost me an MVP trophy, and it's difficult. It's it's easy as you don't see the same breaking balls at home. You'll spend a week at home and then you go on the road and then boom, you haven't seen a breaking ball for a week. So we can do a little bit better job of seeing more breaking balls at home. We can do it with machines that I can throw them or whatever. But hopefully just get them to see the movement of the ball a little bit more at home. So when they go on the road, maybe they're a little prepared. And then just, we got to dominate at home. We got to be a team that still puts a fear in pitchers at home and, survive on the road more or less as an offense. And I don't know if you're ever going to be able to really bridge it and even it up because it is such a different place. But we can address it. I got some ideas.
Rockies' newly appointed hitting instructor, Dante Bichette, joining us tonight on Mile High Sports. Dante, you have Cargo and Tulo. That's a pretty solid foundation for you to step into. What can they do more, and then how do you build from that?
Those guys, if they're healthy, they're going to do more by themselves. They seem to be pretty polished hitters. And Helton, if he gets healthy, I mean, that's going to be the sort of big boost in that offense. I know there's a lot of young guys that are coming up, though, that I'm excited to see and get to know and see how I can help. But health is going to be a big one this year. They can stay healthy and then, just make sure they're prepared to do battle every day. And everybody's got a different button or a different way that you got to approach them. So I got to, that'll be spring training, and early in the season I'll get to learn all that.
I was going to say, I mean, you mentioned that. Have you have a chance to watch any of the other guys beyond Cargo and Tulo on tape and start assessing their strengths and weaknesses and how you might be able to help them out?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be getting some video in, and then I'm going to go to the winter meetings here in a week and talk, with Walt and Billy and just kind of get a grip on the team and see how, each one of them, what they need to work on and see how I can help. But that's a process to get to know each guy. You got to handle each hitter differently. Some don't want to be talked to at all. Some want to talk hitting all the time, so I just got to figure that out.
Dante Bichette joining us tonight on Mile High Sports. As far as Walt Weiss being named manager of the Rockies, what was your reaction when he got the job?
As soon as I heard his name, I let Guy Vet know how solid of a guy he is. I just put my 2 cents in it, and I think Billy was already zeroing in on that. And this is just a pretty solid guy. The way he carries himself when he played on and off the field, the way he carries himself around, raising his family now. Just a real solid guy. Knows the game. He's going to show up every day, professional. I really don't think they could have got a better one. Just understanding the whole Rockies and the Rockies history, I think they picked the right guy.
What is it about Walt Weiss that makes him a great baseball guy, that makes him the right guy?
If you played with him, you'd understand. How he hit in that 8-hole and how he'd always get up the pitcher when he needed to. How he'd come up with big hits. How he'd get on base. How he'd always end up dirty. He never heard him complain. Always, just as hard as he could go. Positive. Never didn't get along with somebody. And always very positive guy. It doesn't mean he's going to be a great manager, but I tell you what, if you're taking chances, this is the guy you take your chance on.
Dante, you've mentioned Bill Guyvet's name a few times here in the interview, and I'm curious because, to be brutally honest with you, Dan O'Dowd, Bill Guyvet, they've taken a lot of heat here in this city on, whether it's talk radio, whether it's in the newspapers and the internet. I'm curious what you might be able to tell the fans about these guys, both Dan O'Dowd and Bill Guyvet, that perhaps they don't know. Because right now, to be honest with you, the fans are really cynical at this point. So what can you say about members of this front office moving forward?
Well, I know they have a passion to win. I know I hear that, but these guys have a passion to win. Obviously, they have a passion to win, and they're trying hard to figure it out. I think they're zeroing in on it. I think there's a better team, and because of injuries, it didn't look like it, but it's definitely a better team they've put together. So if we can stay healthy, I just think you'll see some rewards from the hard work they put in. But I think until then, that's big sports these days. If you're going to take that job, you got to take the heat that comes with it, and that's what they're doing now.
Now, Dante, you've had a lot of success working with the younger guys, high school level, in recent years. Is there a chance that you're going to be working with hitters throughout the organization, particularly in spring training, and then later on in the fall, just to be able to carry on that work that you had with younger guys, or is this straight up just working with the major league guys?
Yeah, you mean minor league guys?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm just that guy, I'll probably wander over to minor league camp quite a bit. See what we got coming up, talk to the hitting coaches there, and just see what's down there, how they're getting after it. And, I'm just kind of that guy. I can't get enough of the hitting thing, so I don't mind doing that and spending time with them. And, they're going to be the next guys, helping us out. So, sure, why not? I don't want to step on toes, but I like going over and watching and checking it out.
Dante Bichette joining us tonight on Mile High Sports, the new Rockies hitting coach. Dante, what about Tulo? He's wound very tight. He's wound very, very tight. Is there a way for you to work with him to get him to loosen up a little bit?
Well, I don't get that from him. He was one of the first guys that introduced himself to me when I showed up in Rocky camp one year. I thought he was a slap hitting shortstop. I didn't know much about him. The next thing I know, he's one of the best players in baseball. So, wound tight, I think is probably a positive. Is how he's come off, or how he's performed. Whatever he's doing it pretty well. He just needs to stay healthy and and get after it. But I don't know if I want to change too much the way he's performing. I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Dante, I'm curious to get your thoughts on the humidor, because that was obviously after your time a little bit. Much has been made about some statistical changes, that have happened at Coors Field as a result of that. What are your thoughts on the humidor? Because obviously the idea with that is not to favor hitters as much.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to see the game with the humidor. I mean, a lot of people tell me they can't see the difference, but I guess maybe the numbers show it. I don't know if it's the team just hasn't, slugged at home like they're capable of, or really it has a huge effect. But I get varying reports on it, and until I see it, I don't really know. But I know it's still a good hitter's park, and that's where we got to put the fear in the opposing pitchers and get that home field advantage back. So whatever we do, it's got to be headed in that direction.
Dante, who are the Blake Street Bombers to you?
The real Blake Street Bombers to me were Walker, Vinny, and Andres. Larry, Vinny, and Andres, I would have to say, and me.
Not Ellis?
Yeah, we were having this debate before
Ellis
the show.
Came in second. Yes, Ellis came in the next year, but yes, yes.
Yeah, in 94, he came in. So I kind of think of Ellis Burks, Vinny, you, and Larry Walker, and Galarraga.
Yeah.
So we can add Ellis Burks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
In there. I think there's a picture in the hallway in spring training. I think Ellis is in it, so we'll let him in there.
We'll let him in. What are Galarraga and Burks doing right now?
Galarraga, I think, is playing a lot of golf in South Florida.
All right.
Burks has a boy that is supposed to be a pretty good ball player. I'm not sure if he went to college or if he's going to college or if he's going to be drafted, but he's got a boy that's a pretty good player, so I'm sure he's involved there.
Hey, Dante, how do we get Giancarlo Stanton to the Rockies?
Ooh, man.
How do you make that happen?
That probably would cost you, I'm sure. I don't know. That's not my job, but if we get him, I'll throw BP to him.
Yeah, and take all the credit for his hitting, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. How is Dante Jr. doing?
He's doing great. He had a great instructional lead. He's putting on, he put on probably 10 pounds. He wants to put on another 10 or 15 pounds before spring. And, he's no longer, he turned 20. He's a year out of high school now. So he's chasing. He's learning how to get after it in pro ball, and he's doing good, doing well.
What are your expectations for the Rockies this season?
I got to get there and see. I was impressed in Atlanta, the couple games I was there. Guys, I really didn't know who they were. I've only heard their name. I was impressed with the at-bats they took. Talking with Billy, we've got pitchers that are coming back that were injured that, can make a big impact. So I think we're a whole lot better than what they were last year, and I think if we stay healthy, we can get it done. But I'm not sure. I got to see in spring training what we got.
Hey, Dante, I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you, and best of luck in this season coming up.
All right, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Hey, you're welcome. Dante Bichette, Rockies hitting coach, joining us tonight on Mile High Sports.